to go ahead and conduct judicial operations backed by judicial warrant.
So was that what happened here today? Was a warrant executed? Walk me through the process here, Elric, of what happened.
So we did execute a civil search warrant here at this location for personnel from Glen Valley Foods that were using fake IDs, fraudulent IDs, or some type of combination of IDs that weren't real.
And now, were they not real, or were they potentially other individuals' identities? So they were real, but they just weren't there.
Correct. Right now, it seems that there was a mixture of those, but we'll know more as the investigation progresses.
And how many people did we have that were flagged, that were potentially using these fraudulent documents?
Approximately 107.
107. And how many did you guys actually apprehend today?
It is still ongoing, but we're up there. We're in the hundreds right now.
In the hundreds.
Yes.
So would you say this is the biggest workplace enforcement operation that HSI has seen, that the DHS community has seen since Trump took office?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
in the state of Nebraska. I'm sorry.
In the state of Nebraska.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry.
So would you say this is the biggest enforcement operation that DHS has been a part of since Trump was?
Yes, for the state of Nebraska.
And what does it mean to you to be leading the charge kind of in the state of Nebraska and having this in your own backyard and having hundreds, over 100 people who are working for a gentleman who apparently did everything by the book?
Right. He is a victim at the end of the day, and together with our state, federal, and local partners, we've been able to make a difference, work with that company, teach them how to do this process better, safer. We will be here to conduct follow-on training to make sure they follow it and know what to look for in the future with fake IDs or real IDs that are stolen identities.
So you are going to have some kind of follow-up conversation information
Absolutely.
shared with Glen Valley Foods in order to get them on the right path. He did think he was on the right path,
Right.
It sounds like, but he didn't even ask me, what do I do? I thought I did everything right. What could he have done anything? I know you're not necessarily the legal analyst or anything, but could he have done anything else? He did E-Verify according to him.
Well, as I reminded him today, when there's any doubt, reach out to your local Department of Homeland Security contacts, and that's what I promised. And this is not a one-time thing. This is an ongoing process that will continue from here on out, and I will be back in several weeks to confirm that he's okay and he got everything he received from the department.
These
Legal troubles for Sheriff Arpaio and MCSO have been going on what feels like forever, but here is a look at how it all started.
8 years ago, back in 2007, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office is hit with accusations the agency racially profiles Hispanics during traffic stops and those now notorious saturation patrols, in which deputies would flood crime-plagued areas looking for even the most minor violations. In 2011, a judge ordered MCSO to discontinue immigration enforcement, but the agency refuses to comply for another 18 months. In 2012, the case actually goes to trial. Fast forward to May of 2013, when U.S. District Judge Murray Snow rules against Sheriff Arpaio and orders MCSO to institute a series of sweeping reforms to prevent race from being used as a factor in law enforcement decisions. But Arpaio and his deputies are accused of essentially stonewalling the court. Now, let's bring you up to April of this year, when Judge Snow starts contempt hearings against the sheriff and 4 of his aides. That's when a bombshell hits. Arpaio admits having the judge's wife investigated after she allegedly is overheard saying Judge Snow was trying to make sure Arpaio would not be reelected. In July, Judge Snow refuses to remove himself from the case, following a motion by Arpaio's attorneys alleging bias.
So the question now before Judge Snow, has Sheriff Arpaio and MCSO's defiance of court orders been willful or inadvertent? A lot to soak in here, a lot to keep track of. Certainly a very fluid story. We have a great interactive section on abc15.com and ABC15 mobile. Video clips and extras will add to it as this story progresses, Steve.
that we see. So that's why we're here, is in kind of full circle, right? I've been watching people cross the border for 4 years, and now we're seeing people here illegally being arrested. Obviously, a lot of these individuals, you were under kind of the impression, from what I understand, they had documentation to work for you, and you thought they were working legally. Is that correct?
Why would we not? We E-Verify. So what are we supposed to do? Can you tell me? I'd like to know.
I mean, do they just provide their documents like they would any person coming into work for you, right? And then you do the normal situation and nothing, no red flags, no nothing. They were just normal people, and then all of a sudden you find out
Precisely.
they're using American citizens' identities.
Right.
How did it feel when you learned that they were using other people's identities?
I could not believe it. I was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
These are good, hard-working people. They really, truly are. And they're part of our family.
So what?
They get free pot, they get free ice cream, they get free donuts every Friday, they get pizza. We love them. They're great people. It makes me so sad.
Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs. Zombie Force here. And I've been gathering information, along as we speak, and so far what I've come to understand is the truth about this protest shit, But it's all about what's on that digital screen and what's being pumped out there to the individuals that are willing to go along with, let's just kick these motherfuckers' asses. But here's the thinking on some of this stuff, it's kind of like, I've observed that the residential neighborhoods, where people live, all the houses and the backyards and the swimming pools and that sort of thing, that's not where this shit is going on for a reason. We all know what that reason is. It's because of these previous conversations that we've been having about what it takes to be an American, you see. So instead of saying, hey, let's just be some badass protesters and let's go up in some of these neighborhoods where people live in their houses and their swimming pools and their backyards and do this shit. Let's just go fuck their shit up. No. There's a reason why they don't do that, and we all kind of know what that reason is. Come over here. This ain't the fucking Apple phone store. Come on. The fact of the matter is it's all concrete and asphalt and sidewalks and storefronts. Think about that. We're going to run out here and we're going to run up and down this asphalt, sidewalk, concrete, and we're going to spray paint something on this concrete, and we're going to roll some dumpsters out in the street. It just seems like that behavior right there is zero tolerance in most residential neighborhoods, if people know what I mean. If somebody just gets completely out of fucking hand, the slightest, inside these places in America we call home, where we live, the residential districts, you see. So I've had conversation with some people, and I've had opportunity to do some interviews. And yes, we have Mexican Americans in the town that I live in. And I know these people. They're legal. Their mama, their daddy, their grandma, their granddaddy was from the United States. They just have They have a Mexican culture. Their food, people that just say, look at these fucktards. If you think some of my friends that are Mexican American don't say, hey, what the fuck is up with these motherfuckers here, What's going on? You know you're not supposed to be here. This is America. This ain't fucking Mexico. What's up with your fucking flags? Your icon. Is that your identifying graffiti on the streets out there in America? It's got to be somewhere downtown, some concrete urban environment down in there to where, hell, people don't live down there. There's a lot of people that work down there. There's some high-rise apartment buildings and stuff, but they seem to kind of go unscathed, you know. So whenever people understand that this country, in no side of no political environment of belief, is willing to say, hey, let's just go up in this neighborhood here and let's do this inside this neighborhood, because we all know what would happen. They find y'all, they'd have to have some ambulance semi-trucks to get your sore ass out the middle of that fucking street out there in my neighborhood. It's part of that sting. It means we have to take back our streets. We have to get this little misunderstanding of legalities and our laws and our rules and why they're in place to say, hey, you shouldn't come across that fence. No, I'm just somebody who has lived my whole entire fucking life without any consequence. That's what it is, it's the consequence. It's like the American people are just fucking idiots. We can't see who the fuck these people really are. Who are these young college kids with their skateboards and their scooters, their little culture? See that culture? Here, let me tell you what that culture used to get you back when I was in high school. It get your ass back there somewhere behind some building and get your head thumped a few times, and then you'd come to a fucking real understanding. Don't sit on my fucking fender. Don't open the door on my car in a parking lot. You know, American, get the fuck out my way. I respect you. You don't fuck with my shit. It's my shit. It ain't what you would consider nice things or whatever you think, but it's still belongs to me inside this free country. So now, those streets down there that's been, you know, terrorized. Oh, it's terrifying. No, it's not really terrifying. It's the authority of the enforcement. These are people that don't go along with the rules. There should be no rules. We should put none of these people in jail. We shouldn't. Oh, I'm sorry that you was contributing to a big illegal industry. You get away with that over there where you come from. Whenever that grows and grows and grows, and it just gets so fat with these motherfuckers, they spill across the American border. Same culture. No consequences, no rules. We run this, blah, 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 blah. It just spills right across there. That's why we drew the line in the sand all those years ago. Keep that shit over there on that side of that line. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You bring that shit across that fucking line down there and expect something you've never had in your life, consequence. The consequences are heavy. Whenever the temperament of us Americans decides to say, hey, enough's this shit. I seen news feeds and videos coming out of all the Midwest states where this recent one acquired 110 employees out of a company. 110 companies, 110 people in this one company. The food industry. They were apprehended and they're on their way to deportation. The company only has 150 employees, you see. So now they're down to less than 50 employees to run the office and everything else. Two-thirds of the people working inside that building are getting deported. Go figure. Now you have to say, okay, now here's my thinking. Here's these legal. You got to understand this. Friends of mine here and there. I got friends from everywhere, man. All parts of the globe. I got friends that came from there. The fact of the matter is this is something I said that the American people are going to have to address. It's been addressed. There you go, American thinking. See, we address these issues. If you got 10 million people on a boat, and they paid to be on this boat, but the other 10 million people that climbed on this boat, they just absconded whatever they're running from, climbed up your ropes and boarded your vessel. Then they play this humanity. Oh, the humanity. Well, you're not in the middle of the ocean. You're not going to let 10 million people starve, now are you? You just want to make sure, like I keep saying, we only want to help you get back where you came from, your origin. I've heard this argument being made, they have a court that says they're legal until they get their hearing. Hold on a second. Americans qualify for guilty until proven innocent against the fucking people of this country. Your rights were honored under our Constitution and our laws and our Supreme Courts and everything. The 10th Amendment. Right to due processes and stuff behind these engagements is it's like, hey, you were guilty of a crime by entering all these people's backyards. It's all of these people's backyards inside this country. It's not just somebody that lives down on the border. I'm talking about it's in your backyard. It's cutting your grass. It's in these food factories. This revenue, this income that could be going into your local communities and the people that are qualified to be inside this country. It benefits these people. The disqualifications of it is you came inside this United States illegally. You crossed our boundaries, which is a criminal offense. Get used to it. It doesn't matter. You're not going to make that fact go away by saying, oh, some black robe tyrant says they can stay until they get their due process. And then they never show up. Then they squander the law. And they go out here and they live inside these communities. Who the hell knows who they are? Where they came from is evident, but who are you? Like I said, we have the right to question anybody who comes inside our house. I do. I will say, hey, who are you? How you doing? What can I be of a service to you? I'm only here to help, but you don't make your rules in somebody else's house. That's where all this is coming down to. One of the sheriffs down in southern Arizona, this guy, see the tents, the fence. As a criminal inside this United States, you're entitled to your due process. As to your preference on how you want to be housed is like, I mean, you want a pillow, you want a sheet, you want a blanket, you want a pillow to lay your head down on. And you're going to make that decision after you've went out here and broke one of the U.S. fucking laws inside this country. One of our laws that says, hey, you know, if everybody just did this shit, what would we do? We wouldn't have enough jails. The fact of the matter is whenever this guy says, hey, there's some fucking water in that cooler over there. There's a tent so you can sleep in under something. There's a fence around here. This is what you're gonna eat. This is how you live while you're in his house. His rules, his house. I don't see motherfuckers just dying and murder and all this shit going on inside these tents and these fences and all this other stuff for these citizens. You got to get that. That's went against the rules of what we call humanity. Not stealing somebody's shit, not trying to hustle some fucking body out of something, not trying to be a cheater. See, that's what we call a cheater. You want to cheat the fucking rules everybody else has got to live under? Fucking go sit over there and cool your heels for a minute. Sorry it worked out that way. But you don't make those rules. Once you've crossed those boundaries, you don't make those fucking rules for us, we the people. We are determined in our Constitution and our laws and the privileges that we reserve under our flag. Thank you. So back to the guy that got about 110 left that building. They were hiding inside freezers. They were up in the tiers behind the pallets, just hiding. To go in there and have to say, hey, pluck these motherfuckers out of here. Then you got this white lily motherfucker standing up there in front of the camera, doing an interview with the little border skinny reporter. This one. And the whole thing coming out, this guy, he's the CEO of this company. He's the man. You know where he's at? He's at the golf course. He's at his house. He's taking his wife out to dinner. He's just making money. But when it all comes down to it, and they say, hey, why'd you have all these illegal people inside your building? And this guy's going, well, I thought they was legal because they were E-verified. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop right there. Call bullshit. And we all know it. It's bullshit. I am not going to be fucking convinced by anybody's public news broadcast or any fucking far left thinking or any fucking far right thinking, any of this shit. I know if you're a motherfucker that's got 150 fucking people working for you, like this guy did. See, this is how it goes. He might not even have but one person working for him. It's not because he had a fucking 110 motherfuckers working inside his company. And these are the motherfuckers that, what is this, shift work? Does this motherfucker go 2 shifts, first shift, third shift? You know, what is it? Half the fucking people that probably work for that fucking person is probably at home in their bed thinking, I gotta get up in a little bit and go to work. But shit, I can't go down there right now. See? Don't kid yourself. It's a capitalist market. The fact of the matter is once you're caught, you're caught. It means don't convince me. You want to call yourself the owner of this entity. The owner. You're the motherfucker. If you did not exist in this, it wouldn't exist. You're that person and you got 150 people working for you in your employment. And then you try to blame it on some E-Verify. And how the system's fooled you because most of the people, most of some of the people that got deported out of your business while your business was operating had false identities. They lied about their backgrounds. They lied about this. They lied about that. Their status. Hold on a second. Look at the association of the ethnic group inside these people. Who is all these people? Exactly. The majority of the population of employment by this person was primarily the exploitation of Hispanics. Now, flip the script on that and think about that for a minute. The fact of the matter is how many people in this local industry or in this towns and area had to take an alternative employment based on the reasons of their background. You know, you got caught shoplifting. You know, you got caught trying to steal some food out of a grocery store. You got put in jail for stealing 3 cars. Who knows? Whenever you stepped out that door, was there somebody in there with a list on the wall that says, hey, you know these guys right here are hiring? We're going to place you on probation, but it's the probation office down there where you visit. When you go inside there, is there a thing on the wall that says, hey, we're hiring? I've seen them. They do exist. Most of some of the people that's coming out of incarceration, some of the fucking people, we all know this shit. They're like, this motherfucker ain't gonna get no fucking job, don't want no fucking job, he gonna go live off his motherfucking family. They gonna do whatever they fucking can, they ain't getting no fucking job, and then eventually they're gonna go back on every fucking thing that the court and they agreed on. They're gonna go back on that word. They're gonna get their asses locked back up over there. And then they're going to brag to everybody about how many times they already done been violated. This is a violation in itself, if anybody could see that, which means that the opportunities were just taken away. You got to understand that, taken away. This is probably one of those companies that would hire you in a second if you were bilingual. If you could speak English and you could speak Spanish, you're hired, you see. And if you happen to be a legal American of legal status, let's just say that, it ain't got nothing to do with the color of your skin. Are you legal? Yes. Can you speak Spanish? Yes, I can. Well, when can you start? We need some straw bosses around here for all these motherfuckers working in here. We know they're not legal, but fuck, we're making money. Hell yeah. See, that shit. The cowboy and the saloon conversation. Hold on a minute. Who's this fucking saloon belong to, son? You come in here, you think you're gonna get some alcohol, you think you're gonna fucking come out blazing and all this other shit and starting some fucking trouble. We're going to have our bouncers put your ass on that sidewalk out there, boy. fact of the matter is this guy just takes this interview and he's talking about this E-Verify and how he and his personnel and everybody inside their company has stuck to the rules of Department of Homeland Security and background checks and everything else, which is a fucking lie. I'll tell you what should have happened. They should have put his ass, while they had him there, and all those people in the HR department, right in those fucking buses with those people. And call it guilt by association and get it the fuck over with, because why? It's a federal law that says the act of an employment of an illegal alien inside this country, inside our boundaries, is forbidden by our laws. You have to have permission to be inside this country. And then you have to have permission by this country, us, the people that run this shit. You got to have permission from us to say, hey, look, I know I'm in trouble for being here, fuck, I shouldn't have did that. But I'm just trying to get away from this shit. You can't avoid it, somehow they squeeze their way through the fucking system and somebody says, hey, I'm going to give you a work permit. This is going to allow you to go out and seek employment inside the United States, and it's going to give you a temporary Social Security number assignment. It's not a permanent. The fact of the matter is there is some exceptions to some rules. People have to understand, they have to see that. That means if some woman comes to your fucking door at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning screaming, banging on your fucking door, and you see somebody fucking chasing after this fucking woman with a baseball bat or something, what the fuck are you gonna do? What you gonna do? What's the American way? What's the American thing to do? You're gonna say, hey, whoa, ma'am, get in here. Now, who are you, motherfucker? You see? One, I'm pissed off at this bitch because she just woke me up at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning, but one, you're not gonna hit her with that fucking baseball bat. Sorry. I'll turn your fucking head into a canoe if you take any more steps further into my fucking personal property. See? See that concrete wall, that American way? Now, there's responsibility in this because I firmly believe that you have to enforce and you have to be vigilant in freedom. You have to stand against that for your freedom, to be in your content, to be relaxed inside your own home, inside your castle, to have your peace of mind, to know some motherfucker ain't gonna be, by any fucking circumstances, coming in here or be allowed to take anything in criminality against you or your property. You have the right to protect you and your property. Now, just to think about it, I mean, you got some guy that's got 150 employees. He's been allowed to have his American dream inside this country based on his beliefs as to what? I wouldn't want to be the judge on any of this, but somebody has already decided on that in criminality. That's why, way back when, it's a crime to come inside this country. And then it's a crime, see. So all these people out here in these neighborhoods that's got these people cleaning their houses, washing their fucking cars, down here at the fucking Circle K's, whatever the fuck it is. You or an enabler See how you enable all this? Let's just say it's the same thing as shit going on down there in the streets of Los Angeles and some places else, New York, everywhere. If enough people show up, we can get away with this. How many people you got? Do you think just because some of these people were extorted financially and enabled to get across that border to go down here and be enslaved to somebody who's collecting some fucking money and who knows where it's going? It's the enabler. People can be misled in their thinking. I understand that. I can be. But the judgments on all of this stuff are firm. You're not going to get around it. You're not going to beat this shit. And I got some black brothers right now I had conversation with earlier today that's saying the same damn thing. Said, y'all motherfuckers need to get the fuck on up out of here. They think like I think. Every fucking time that I spend money that I fucking work for my serenity, for my life, to say, hey, I'm just gonna take the fucking day off and I'm gonna relax. That. Whenever something comes out of my efforts to live in a free country, has to support. See, this ain't small. SGV News and all you guys out there on the West Coast, holla. The network is there. The truth is there. You're not going to take this shit up in somebody's neighborhood, not inside this fucking country, and get away with it for just a fucking matter of a fucking few minutes or an hour. That's over with. You can carry your ass on back home. Because you got your fucking ass just handed to you for that thinking, and these guys know this. This is these little young girls and gals that's out here. They're little rebels of their family. I seen their little flags. They sneaking their little asses up in there. LGBTQ community flags, the rainbow flags, and you know, whose streets are streets. Oh, I wonder where that came from. Let me tell you something, idiot. Those are our streets, not your streets. See? How's that sound? Everybody that lives inside your fucking neighborhoods is the motherfuckers that's already done told your stupid ass to get the fuck out their yard, get the fuck out their business, quit stealing their shit, quit fucking misbehaving, quit fucking having mama go down there and get you out the goddamn juvenile, and because you got in some fucking trouble, and mama just comes down there and gives you a lollipop and says, it's okay, let's go. Just try not to let that happen anymore. Really. We're not fucking humans inside this country, are we? None of us have fucking kids and dogs and nothing. You don't decide that. Are you a fucktard? We all know as adults and responsibilities in our lives and abiding by our rules and everything inside this country that these things shouldn't be allowed. Somebody needs to fucking spank that ass. And it needs to be spanked. It means you, your parents, your employers. See, employer. Oh, no, I just live in a big house and I got some illegal housekeepers. I know that they're okay. They don't steal. They're honest. It doesn't fucking matter about that. The fucking fact of the matter is you just enabled it, you fucktard. Go your ass down there to that fucking gate, fill out a fucking piece of paper, and wait to be fucking accepted, to be even spoken to about what it takes to be inside this country. Because I got a brother out there right now in Cali. He's been in this country for 10 years, but he went through every hurdle and every step that it took to be a citizen of this fucking country, and he stands proudly behind our flag. So you don't get that. You don't get that. You're not going to get that a lot out here in this multimedia of bullshit. It's time to go home, like they say. Here's a little fucking gas money. Here's a plane ticket. Here's what we're going to do for you. It's time for you to leave. No, I don't want to go. That little fucking kid I was talking about that's at the fucking checkout fucking line at the fucking grocery store, wherever the fuck it is, it's just laying down on the goddamn floor and screaming and kicking and No, it's time for you to fucking leave. Why? Because this ain't a goddamn grocery store. You got over 100 people in one factory producing food for American consumption. You got some guy playing that fucking poor me fucking pitiful fucking violin fucking bullshit on how much trouble it's going to be for him to replace these employees, because they do supply, they have customers. What are they going to do? No, your customers ought to come down there and just shut your fucking shit down, boycott your fucking brand off that goddamn store shelf and be done with it. Take that lick. Shut up, buttercup. The laws of the land already points to you as guilty. Whenever you take the responsibility and the pride it takes for an ownership of an industry inside this country, and you say, yeah, hell yeah, we're doing it right. We're making money. We're giving people jobs. We're pouring this money into the economy. We're doing good. See? They all know it's bullshit. The fact of the matter is most of these people, they created their own problems by saying yes to some motherfucker over in some other fucking country. Yes, we're just gonna fucking leave our fucking communities because you violent motherfuckers over here. Or yes, we're gonna borrow this fucking money from you guys to come over here and work. We're willing to go be helped and assisted into coming inside this country and reaping the profits and the benefits of the fucking hard-working American people and people that's fought to be American inside this country. We're gonna fuck these fucking people over. You see? This kind of draws a question on who's rubbing whose fucking elbows inside this fucking country and our representatives. Where are you at, Gavin Newsom? You should be brought up on treason. Treason against the free citizens of this United States. Us, the people. You can go out here and you can talk about an elected leadership like he's some kind of fucking Adolf Hitler motherfucking type person. But I'm just saying, people that report from the front lines, the trenches, you see, the trenches, they're not seen, they're not heard, they're just there. Eyeballs, ears, things that can see through propaganda, see through the lines of the fucking lies and misbehaviors of all this bullshit that's being waved inside the citizen's face inside this fucking country, and it's systemic. The attorneys inside the attorneys themselves inside California already know this. The prosecution of all and any involved in these matters should be swift. Crimes against the citizens of the United States are punishable by our laws, rules, and regulations. Why? Because we all have to abide by these rules. You don't get away with it just because you're a fucking person working for a fucking political fucking office. You have no immunity to that. You break your immunity by fucking posing harm or causing a risk or endangering the fucking public property and premises of United States citizens, then you will be, layman's terms, addressed. You've got a Democratic senator, congressman, congresswoman, a lawmaker. They want their laws. Oh, no. Let me in that door. No, she was told to get her ass the fuck on down that sidewalk because they ain't got nothing to say to her, and they just shut the door on her ass. A congressman. Right there, Los Angeles. We all know who that person is, but I'm not willing to just say, hey, I'm just saying. It's an association. It's a systemic. You look over there, look over there, look over there, but don't see this shit. It stings. And I know there's a couple of guys out there that I know. We had this discussion, me and Mad Chad and us, about what would happen if they imposed a fucking bounty on illegal aliens inside this country. And the discussions that have been made, I mean, I had a discussion with somebody not so long ago, me and a couple of my homies. Just sitting around, and it was like, it's a capitalist country, which means if you're not posing any harm, it's not the feelings. You're not the feelings. Law is not based on feelings. You understand? Call the feelings police, something pisses you off. Oh, I'm sorry. If you stick by the fucking rules as a free fucking American, you don't got nothing to fucking worry about now, do you? The mass deportation effects are only coming to a head. It means instead of saying, well, we get one bus comes through here one night. No, we got 10 buses coming through here every night. We got plenty of planes. We got plenty of fucking know-how. It says, hey, you got to go. You got to go. We don't want to bruise your fucking head or anything like that. You just got to go. It's time. The time is now there. See, I've heard that. The fact of the matter is it has to be put to people in an understanding where they could possibly say, okay, maybe Zombie ain't fucking crazy. The fact of the matter is I'm just one of these fucking people out here inside free America. This is no, you're not. You're not going to do this to my neighbor. You're not going to do this to my goddamn fucking city. You're not going to do this to my post offices or nothing. You're not going to do it. You're not going to steal our fucking cars. You're not going to fucking break in our houses. You're not going to kill our fucking kids with your fucking poison. But there is some fucktards inside this country, and this is that problem, that seems to have a fucking problem with that. They're the ones. They want to get in your fucking business. They want to get in your fucking business. They want to get in your fucking business. They want to know about what the fuck. Let's interview these fucking people's kids when they come to school and ask them what goes on in home. What kind of behaviors do your parents have? We think you should read this book over here. And it's okay to be, be who you want to be. See, those people, we know who they are. They don't want to teach the young people how to be Americans. They want to teach them how to be rainbow children. They know who they are. They don't want a young man to understand the qualities and aspects of having hand tools, a set of wrenches, how to use a fucking weed eater, how to push a fucking lawnmower. You know, when I was a kid, my grandmother had this yard. I wasn't even allowed to go outside the fucking fence until it was weeded. Not weed-eated, weeded. With a little set of clippers. And she actually had one of those fucking sycamores. You know what a sycamore is? It don't got a motor. You just push that motherfucker. Why would you push that fucking mower all over the fucking yard? I don't know. I guess if the yard's well kept like that one was, it ain't no fucking, it's 30 minutes. You done. No gas, no oil, no nothing. Just keep the blades sharp, you're good. Thomas Jefferson have a push mower and a weed eater. The fact of the matter is this poison goes into our beliefs of our freedoms and our foundations for our rules and laws and what makes us our country. It's not some foreign thinking, because that's what's going to get the fucking problem right there. Britain already learned their lesson. France. You go running your mouth to other people inside this fucking country, we're not going to always be the world fucking police. For those guys and women and fucking served inside our fucking military, we all know this. And we're willing to admit this. This is a war between the oligarchs. You sign an agreement to go over there and fucking defend some fucking rich, fucking ultra wealthy fucking associations of groups of fucking with political representatives out here talking heads to tell you what they're gonna do and what they may be thinking. Well, you're just an American motherfucking security guard. That's all you are. Security force, you know. Yeah, let's go down there and see, make sure these people don't kill each other so we can keep fucking milking that motherfucking cow. The fact of the matter is inside this fucking country, we should stick with our rules. They've been treating us pretty good so far. We have failed to have fucking invasion. Anybody fuck that? Ain't going over there fucking with these crazy ass fucking Americans. That's the emperor of Asia back when, World War II and previous to that. They were well-known facts to invade the soils of the United States mainland. It's suicide. Because there's a guy standing behind every blade of grass inside that country with a rifle. Whew. Brutal. Now, back to the streets of LA. See, now, what the fuck is going on there? Like I said, easy hand. The easy hand. If it was up to people like me, I mean, I'd say, you know, there they are all between this street and that street. And ain't got nowhere to run. Every one of those fucking individuals, no, I'm so glad that I don't want to be the one to decide that. Because you know what I would do? All those big open sandy spaces, they got them all over Los Angeles area. I'd have me a commercial fencing company in there and say, hey, fence me off a couple 100 acres there. Now put some tents over here in this corner. And get some water coolers. And I'd have one of the local, privately owned, legal hiring people to furnish the bread. And they would get a loaf, like they used to in the prisons, you know, they just have a loaf. It had vegetables and fucking, just a loaf. It was a bread loaf. You get a slice of that, see you in the morning. Coffee. What? Long gone? You just be there for about a week. That'd be the rule. You want to go spray paint something? 2 weeks. That's where you going. No TV. Not like Gilligan's Island. Not a single luxury. You ain't even got bamboo to build shit out of. You just gonna be out there. You and your fucking clothes. Give you some water, give you a little something for your belly, keep you alive. That's where you'd be. You would not be out here on fucking public property destroying people's fucking efforts. Costing the taxpayers excessive amounts of fucking money for these repairs and replacements and all this other shit that's got to go on here. You would not be Gavin Newsom, would you? Because you would be held on treason. But, anyhow, make a long story short, that just maybe that puts some identifying markers out there for people to understand the directions in which this needs to go. We got nothing against your flag. Take it home, put it on your yard, put it on your house. Go right ahead. You'll not put it on our street unless you got permission. See, you gotta ask. You can wear it on your clothes. You can do whatever you want to do. Freedom of your own expression. But don't expect any leniency about your flag and your belief when you're destroying public property. Somebody built those dumpsters. Somebody had to pay for those dumpsters. Somebody had to pay for those cars. Somebody had to do all this thing. It's an investment too, you know. Just to have somebody come along and say, hey, we're just going to fuck this up. No, you're not. Because what's my brothers out in L.A. saying right now? I had some conversations earlier this morning. You know. These motherfuckers, look, I got a brother, man, of all people, in L.A. as a legal immigrant. Been there for 10 years. If you had a conversation with him, you'd think he was American. Saying to me, you know, they need to put all these motherfuckers in jail. All of them in the same jail. There you go. Put them all inside the same fucking fence and leave these motherfuckers in here for a couple of weeks. You don't get a phone call. You don't get a visit. Any of these fucking vehicles that they're finding inside these industries where these people are fucking employing these people and they're getting caught, fucking, that's sacrifice right there. Put it into public use. You just fucking donated your fucking car and your house and all your furniture and everything else to the people of the United States. Because why? Because your ass getting on that plane. Sorry. You caught. The same consequences happen to anybody else inside our legal systems. You go out here and you do your shit. You do your shit. You keep doing your shit. You tell me a motherfucker that ain't been caught. They got their tail. Fuck yeah, man. I did some fucking time over there. Fuck yeah, hell yeah. No, fuck that. You know what I mean? They gonna walk right, talk right, Keep it between the fucking lines there. The edge. You either choose to go over that fucking edge inside this country, but you don't choose the consequences by going over that edge. That's called the fence. That's our edge. That's our border. See, get it? Fact of the matter is it's not going to be left up to a fucking private civilian to understand what should be the fucking consequences of all these actions. It's based on the fucking laws and consequences of our fucking established laws as the United States, not California. Nobody else inside this fucking country has ever fucking agreed to circumstances behind this without reason, which means that the governor of California and some others should join in that fucking treasonous action against the fucking people of the fucking United States under the constitutional rules and the established fucking agreements. Whenever you sign into a military force and you're part of the military force and you go inside that force and you're inside that fucking building with fucking 10 other fucking people and you fuck up because you got drunk driving, you will still fucking suffer the consequences and the penalties underneath the fucking free laws of this fucking country. It doesn't matter. You're guilty. It doesn't have any reflection between the fucking United States government, public, a public employment. That's even fucking worse than getting caught fucking doing something out here on a regular fucking job because you got the opportunity to just go get another fucking job. Well, so does it goes in there too. You fuck up, you got to go. It happens. Nobody's perfect. But I don't think it's reasonable to be expected that any of these people inside this fucking riot, as I say, should be not found guilty by association. Because, in fact, if you're willing to stand out there on the street with a camera in your fucking phone and knuckle bumping your best homie over there because y'all just down here cutting up, fucking some shit up, all of you should be fucking held responsible by guilt by association. If you associate yourself in any of these matters, you fucktards, you can't understand facial identification software. You will face the consequences under the federal laws and rules and laws inside this country, eventually. It is reasonable to think also that the persecution and consequences faced by the J6ers in their actions to enter the United States Capitol building and be asked to leave, and eventually they left, is comparable to this problem inside our streets. We have people that's good people inside the United States that had good intentions on their mind to get somebody's attention. They were persecuted, they were incarcerated, they were held under penalties of speculations. But as to allow damages to the fucking public property as the streets and red lights and traffic signs and public buildings and private buildings that are being affected by this matter for how many days? Days. Multiple cities affecting private people and private industry that have paid their taxes for somebody that wants to put that badge on and get out there and do their fucking job. Need I beg to fucking differ? So, like I said, the comparison, it's not comparing apples and oranges. What is good for the goose is indeed good for the gander. See, practice what you preach. Put your money where your mouth is. You ain't saying nut. like Rolls Royce something? You ain't saying a damn thing. So anyhow, reminds me of something back when I was fucking a wee lad, living in an urban environment, riding a bus. You know, I was one of those groups of people that were chosen to be bused across town, and I had to listen to all that old bullshit about that. We don't want you in our school. You're not from our neighborhood. You know, I a zombie went through that shit. But I had this fucking cool ass fucking afro motherfucking engineered fucking bus driver, the coolest motherfucker, man. He had a fucking 8-track player in a fucking school bus. That motherfucker was looked like a big fucking yellow sausage. He was getting on it, and we all caught the bus at the same stop, right on the same corner, like fucking 30 of us motherfuckers be piling up on this fucking bus right there at the same spot. Working class neighborhood, poor neighborhood, urban environment. We get on this bus, and this motherfucker had a Rolls Royce 8-track. He would crank that shit up. And it took about 45 minutes to go all the way over across town to show up for the school. We would listen to that fucking Rolls Royce fucking 8-track every motherfucking day for like weeks. So, here's what I say. Put your money where your mouth is. You ain't saying nothing. You can put your money where your mouth is, because you ain't saying a damn thing. The fact of the matter is either some of this conversation and some of these actions going on inside this United States, as we call a free fucking country, is it free or is it not free? You can put the J6ers inside some fucking federal institution, like somebody says. Some lost an eye. Some committed suicide. Lots of people's lives have been ruined over this incident. But is anybody's lives being done the same way with these people that are being down here in these streets and ripping down people's properties and tearing shit up and burning fucking public property? Or where are they? And how should we judge this little matter? But all things considered, till the next video, Zombie Force out.